With Aquage uplifting foam and Beyond Body thermal spray, you can easily transform second-day messy texture into smooth, glossy, manageable hair without having to shampoo. Uplifting foam was designed to be sprayed directly onto wet hair. But for this technique, because the goal is to apply in small amounts onto dry hair just across the hairline, we'll spray a medium-sized dollop onto a clean towel so that you can delicately and incrementally apply it without oversaturating the hair fiber. We recommend scooping up just enough uplifting foam with your comb to easily distribute it over the first few inches from the hairline back. Because uplifting foam was primarily designed to be used on evenly wet hair, when used directly on dry hair, it delivers a stronger level of hold than when applied to wet hair. So for this technique, a little goes a long way. Applying a small amount that evenly saturates the first few inches will be all you need to smooth the hair that frames the face. We do, however, recommend combing through until the foam liquefies and becomes completely absorbed into the hair fiber. Continue applying uplifting foam until the entire hairline is saturated, smooth, and tangle-free. Aquage uplifting foam is our weightless spray foam that may be used on both wet or dry hair to create volume and lasting style retention without stiffness. Because uplifting foam smooths surface texture, creating highly reflective shine, it's the perfect product to use to smooth and fine-tune second-day hair. Next, we'll blow style the hair using a combination of a heat-resistant comb and our blow dryer. For this technique, we simultaneously comb and blow dry the hair toward the back in one smooth motion over the curvature of the head. We recommend utilizing your blow dryer's directional nozzle for this technique to concentrate the airflow directly over the surface without disturbing the hair between the midshaft and the ends, which can easily become tangled when uncontrolled air is allowed to disturb longer hair. Remember, the goal is just to smooth the first few inches across the front hairline. This technique works best on the hairline because it allows you to smooth and mold the hair closest to the scalp over the head's shape. We don't recommend blow drying past the first few inches. Instead, we'll be switching to a pressing technique to smooth the rest of the hair. As you dry uplifting foam, it will form a smooth, translucent shield that delivers hold, control, and humidity resistance, as well as a brilliant, natural-looking gloss over the hair surface. Next, we'll press the remainder of the hair with Aquage Beyond Body. Because the goal is just to smooth the surface, we'll only press the top layer. We recommend working on individual tangle-free sections. Lightly spray Aquage Beyond Body from 8 to 10 inches away on both sides of each section. Always comb through immediately after spraying for even product distribution. For this technique, you want to alternate combing and pressing until you reach the ends and the hair is perfectly smooth. Remember, because the first few inches were smoothly blow-dried with uplifting foam, you can begin pressing just behind the already blow-styled area. This two-step approach, where you first mold the area across the hairline with your comb and blow dryer, and follow by pressing the rest of the hair with a ceramic flat iron, is an ideal way to quickly and easily transform second-day texture into silky smooth, shiny, natural-looking hair. Aquage Beyond Body is our medium-hold, heat-activated thermal setting spray with ceramic-infused polymers and fortifying proteins that seal and protect hair's outer layer, leaving it smooth, healthy, and shiny. We'll continue pressing the hair using the same technique until we're happy with the level of smoothness over the surface of the hairstyle. Again, the important elements for our pressing technique are to work on thin individual sections that you can easily manage, to lightly spray with Aquage Beyond Body from about 8 to 10 inches away on both sides of the section, to comb through and distribute the product from roots to ends, and to alternate pressing and combing in a smooth gliding motion until the hair is perfectly smooth. And here's our transformed second-day texture into perfectly smooth, glossy, silky hair. Aquage artist Tasha Ostrander will demonstrate an innovative fan-out braiding technique that is easy to achieve and perfect for accentuating smooth surface texture. She begins with a circular section in the center between the crown and the occipital ridge. She lightly sprays with Aquage Beyond Shine to deliver the ideal level of slip and to prevent hair from tangling. She splits the section into 3 individual subsections, making sure each section is kept clean and neat. Tasha begins braiding by crossing the outer section from the left side over the center and then the outer section from the right side over the center. She continues braiding in this manner until she reaches the ends. This is a simple, classic braiding technique that you can easily create on longer hair, but because later you'll flatten and fan out each section individually, Tasha recommends braiding without applying any tension as you cross over each section. This way you can later easily slide and manipulate sections individually without them becoming tangled. She gently, neatly, and delicately continues braiding until she reaches the ends. For this technique, she will not secure the ends until she has finished fanning out each section. After braiding, she again lightly sprays with Aquage Beyond Shine to add extra slip before fanning out each section. Aquage Beyond Shine is our fine mist, silkening and glossing spray that creates brilliant shine on any style. It shields hair with a humidity-resistant barrier that controls your style in high humidity conditions. For this style, Beyond Shine's most important attribute is that it delivers the ideal level of slip to keep strands smooth, clean, and neat. Next, Tasha will begin fanning out each section. The goal is to gently and delicately spread out each section into a wider fan-shaped form. To do this, Tasha holds the braid just below the section she's fanning out and incrementally, progressively, and delicately pulls the section up and out with her index finger and thumb. She uses a very light, delicate touch to allow the hair to slowly, progressively, and incrementally slide out and radiate evenly away from the base and out of the braid. As the section becomes wider, it will also become thinner and consequently flatter. This allows the hair to lie flatter and smoother over the surface of the hair underneath. Tasha continues fanning each section out, working her way down until she's happy with the results. This is an innovative technique that you can use to transform a thinner traditional braid into a much wider, flatter fan braid. It's an excellent technique to use as a decorative element over smooth, straight hair. Again, because the goal is to have the sections easily slide into a new, wider fan shape, we recommend leaving the ends of the braid loose and securing them only when you have finished fanning down the entire length of the braid. As you perform this technique, the ends may become partially undone. That's okay as long as the entire braid doesn't unravel. When you finish, you can always rebraid the ends. The important element is to use a very light touch when spreading and fanning sections to prevent the braid from becoming undone. When finished, she secures the ends with a small clip. She repeated the technique on a second section just to the right of the center section, and then again on a third section in the front by the hairline. Now she repeats the technique on the left side. Because the hair is parted on this side and there's less hair to work with, she'll braid the entire left side just above the ear to be sure there's enough hair to fan out after braiding. She lightly sprays with Aquage Beyond Shine to create the ideal level of slip. For this technique, we recommend using Beyond Shine while braiding and fine-tuning sections, and using Aquage finishing spray to lock and hold and for control when all the sections are braided and the style is formed and finished. Again, this technique is relatively simple because it's based on a classic 3-strand braid. The important elements are to be sure hair is smooth and tangle-free before braiding, to subdivide hair into 3 equally sized sections, to braid the hair into a classic 3-strand braid, but be sure to avoid applying any tension as you cross over strands, because if your braid becomes too tight, it will be difficult to evenly pull out, spread, and fan out the sections. To leave the ends unsecured. Traditionally, a braid will unravel if not secured at the ends with either a clip or an elastic band. But because this braid was created without tension, It won't come undone if you work lightly and delicately. To always begin fanning out sections at the top or base of the braid and to work your way down. As you pull the hair out of the base of each section, you want to work lightly and delicately, slowly and progressively allowing the section to fan out and to radiate outward. This is especially important when working on the front and sides, where hair is thinner and there's less hair to braid. Last, but certainly not least, to secure the ends of each section with a small clip, not an elastic band. Now that all braids are complete, Tasha gathers all the braids together, securing them with one elastic band. Next, she takes a sponge, donut-shaped filler that she previously sliced open and places it underneath the newly gathered section. She wraps the hair over the filler and rolls the section up until it sits at the nape. She secures the section at the base with a couple of large bobby pins. Next, to lock in the style, she'll lightly mist with Aquage finishing spray from far away to avoid saturating the hair fiber. Aquage finishing spray is our fast-drying, firm-holding, fine mist hairspray that delivers long-lasting style retention. It's the ideal tool for locking in styles and sealing the cuticle for maximum humidity resistance. Now Tasha adds the finishing touch with a light misting of Aquage Beyond Shine for brilliant gloss. And here's our final look, an elegant gathered chignon with an overlay of beautiful fan-shaped braids that's certain to make any occasion special.